It's your girl, Beautiful Brown Baby Doll, and I come to you tonight pretty solemn and tired. I wanted to talk to you all about the fact that Darren Wilson tonight was not indicted. Unless you've been hiding under a rock, you know that Mike Brown is the teenager, the 18-year-old who was killed this summer in Ferguson, Missouri. For those of you all that don't know, I am from St. Louis. More specifically, I'm from Berkeley. So I am straight from right next door to Ferguson, less than a mile from Ferguson. I could walk to Ferguson from where I grew up. So for me, this is near and dear. Not because the grand jury decided that Darren Wilson shouldn't be indicted, because I wasn't privileged to all the evidence in the case. However, I will say this. Y'all, we need to figure it out real quick. In America, we are being told, and when I say we, I am speaking to people of color, but not just people of color. I'm speaking to everybody right now, because this is everybody's problem. If ever we sit around and we say that racism isn't a problem, if we ever sit around and say that one life is not valued higher or lower than another life, I dare you to say that to me, because I'm tired. I'm so tired now of the injustice, of the fact that our lives are not valued. I feel sorry for the parents of Michael Brown. My God, I can only imagine how they're feeling right now. I feel bad for my city right now. I feel bad for St. Louis right now. To me, this is crazy. Why? Because I'm reminded of old trials. I'm reminded of other people who have committed similar crimes, or even worse, more grotesque crimes. Because if you know a little bit about this story, what story was given was that Mike Brown had earlier was caught taking, or on tape, taking cigarillos. Furthermore, when Darren Wilson, the officer, asked him to move or something of that sort, they obviously got in a scuffle in which Mike Brown allegedly reached for his gun. Even though he turned around and ran away or walked away and held his hands up, he was shot 6 times. And 2 of those shots were fatal. I don't care what nobody say. That is excessive force. Especially when, not just a few years ago, a young white male walked into a movie theater, shot and killed many, and walked away with his life. But let me point out, Mike Brown was an unarmed teenager. But in similar cases, people have been armed and not killed by excessive force. So if ever y'all don't think that this is a message, it is. And you need to take it seriously. I'm not always talking about, you know, we need to fight, we need to loot, we need to do all that, because we know what's going down. We know what's going down tonight. You know that my city is being torn apart, which is even more just making me sad, because my mother lives there, my sister lives there, my family lives there. A lot of my family and friends still live there, still reside there. So I'm worried about them, but I'm more concerned about what we will do next, because Trayvon wasn't enough. This year we watched that man from Liberia die of Ebola because he wasn't given the treatment that he needed. However, we watched others being rushed to hospitals and being taken and given treatment. So I'm compelled to hear the voices of the past and even songs that we hear all the time. A nigga is still a nigga. If y'all are not getting the message here is we need to fight. And it don't mean fighting with our fists, fighting with our brawn, fighting with guns. I'm talking about taking advantage of education, taking advantage of mentoring our youth, taking advantage of these systems out here, and voting. Because we're voting a lot of foolish people into office. We're voting a lot of people into places that don't really consider our lives valuable. We back a lot of stuff that ain't worthwhile. And yet and still, in 2014, almost 2015, we haven't overcome a whole lot at all. It's not doing anything for us to be predictable. It's not okay to just loot and shoot, tear up our own communities. What we need to do is take charge by building our minds, building our skills, teaching our youth to bond together, teaching them about the value of their life, because their value is high. And if we look at this media and we look at the news and we look at these trials, we are fooled. And we continue to look at the injustice and we continue to say, Oh, this is just what happens. Oh, you know, if somebody does this, we can expect this. And then we just gonna act a fool afterwards. I refuse. When we sit up and don't think past these types of moments, we are doing ourselves a direct inservice. Take more than a moment of silence. Think about how we can change the trajectory of the value of our lives and what society thinks about it. We already know how we're viewed, how we're looked at, how we're handled. This excessive force is happening too often and it's sending a message to us. So what are we going to do with that? It's my call to action. I'm going to continue to educate. I'm going to continue to do service. I'm going to continue to tell people and bond with others and teach them ways to fight the system without actually fighting the system. We got to teach our boys, we got to teach our girls how to take care of themselves and each other. Until we stand up and realize what we are worth, all of this is going to continue to happen because we allow it to happen. I'm not surprised that Darren Wilson was not found guilty. I'm not surprised at all. And that's even sad because I should be surprised. But because we have been taught this low value for our lives and the fact that if we do anything that looks suspicious, anything that causes others to be afraid, then this is what happens. These are the repercussions. But how come it's not the repercussions for others? So all of us need to check ourselves. So the next time you think that there is no racism, there is no excessive stereotyping, there is no foolishness, there is no, you know, all of these thoughts and beliefs about the person next to you. How do you perceive the value of the lives of those even in Ferguson right now? Because I'm pretty sure it's about to pop off and we might end up with a few other deaths tonight. Y'all, the stance ain't always gonna be hurting people when they hurt us. Find another way to correct the system. But we gotta pull together first. Y'all let me know your thoughts below. Come on over to the Facebook, Instagram page. We will be discussing this all week. Thanks so much for watching, guys. And I'm sorry for getting all emotional, but hey, it's gonna be one emotional night. I might not fall asleep tonight. Beautiful brown baby doll. Peace. Don't forget to check for me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter and keep up with daily updates and keep in contact with me. Subscribe to my YouTube channel now for weekly updates. And don't forget to check out my latest video, my weight loss and natural hair care playlist. There's so much for you there. Thanks for watching.